Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I hope you're all doing very well. So this is part 2 of my Golden Globes 2021 nominations coverage, where I'm going to be diving into the nominations for the TV categories. I've already done my reaction for the movie categories of this year's nominations, so if you'd like to check out my thoughts on those, then you can very much do so on my channel. But here we're going to be diving into the TV categories because I have a lot to say. I was planning on putting all of this into one video, but quite frankly, it was a mammoth size video. It was a mammoth size task. I wouldn't be doing all of these categories justice if I tried to cram them into one video, which is why we've broken them up into 2 videos this year. Now, unlike with the film categories where I didn't get a chance to see as many 2020 films as I'd like to, purely because of, scheduling irregularities and the issues with the release schedule in general, when it comes to TV, I know what I'm talking about. I definitely know what I'm talking about because I've done my homework. I've done the further reading. I've done the extracurricular. I am definitely well versed when it comes to the 2020 lineup of TV shows. So I will be able to give you some fuller thoughts on the TV category nominations for this video. Don't you even worry about it. And not to mention, we are going to be diving into my thoughts on truly one of the worst snubs I have ever seen in my entire life. Just throw it all away. Throw the 2021 Golden Globes away immediately because truly they can't be serious. They literally cannot be serious. We're going to be diving into all of that. But first of all, if you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to my channel and make sure you turn on your notifications so that you can be told when I upload next. And also be sure to comment down below and let me know what your thoughts were on the TV category nominations for the Golden Globes this year. I'm very interested to hear them, especially what you thought was snubbed. Let me know down in the comments if you're angry and upset like I am. So now, without further ado, let's dive into the TV show categories for the Golden Globes 2021 nominations. The first award that we're going to be diving into for this video is the Best Performance by an Actress in a Television Series Drama. Now here the nominees are Olivia Colman for The Crown, Jodie Comer for Killing Eve, Emma Corrin for The Crown, Laura Linney for Ozark, and Sarah Paulson for Ratched. Now I already discussed in my movie coverage of the Golden Globes nominations this year that I was very disappointed to see the lack of diversity that was represented in the female categories specifically. I feel like the male categories were quite diverse, but when it came to the female categories, especially on-screen talent, lacking, absolutely lacking, and for no apparent reason because the content was there. They just decided to ignore it, much to my chagrin. And so it seems to me that this theme is running throughout the entirety of the Golden Globes and not just in the movie categories, because we're seeing the same thing here with the TV show categories. Where is Viola Davis for How to Get Away with Murder? Where is she? Where is she? She deserves a nomination for How to Get Away with Murder. Are you kidding me? She makes that show. She is incredible in that show. And as I've said time and time again, the woman doesn't know how to do a bad job on screen. So where is her nomination? Where is Journey Smollett? We're going to be talking about the cast of Lovecraft Country and how they were rudely snubbed for the Golden Globes. But where is she? She should be here. I've gone through this list several times. She literally should be here, but she's not. Make it make sense. Whatever. So now let's talk about who is here. First of all, Olivia Colman for The Crown. This makes no goddamn sense. I'm so sorry, but this makes no goddamn sense. I love Olivia Colman. I think she's great as Queen Elizabeth. I still, to this day, even after she's done her 2-season run, prefer Claire Foy. Claire Foy as Elizabeth II. Just timeless, just perfect, just difficult to match, if I'm being honest. But Olivia Colman is an incredible actress. I think she does a great job. But honestly, I do think that when it comes to season 4, she wasn't doing anything extraordinary, at least anything that she's never done before. She was doing more of the same that we saw in season 3. And since she was already nominated for season 3, and I believe won for season 3, why are we doing this again? Did they not watch another TV show? We're going to be talking about that later on, about how the Hollywood Foreign Press really doesn't watch anything. They don't watch anything. They don't do their homework. Unlike me, who's been watching all of these TV shows throughout the year, the Hollywood Foreign Press Association has not. Even though it's literally their jobs, they have not been. And the next nominee is a perfect example of why I think this theory is absolutely correct. Because next up we have Jodie Comer for Killing Eve. Why is she nominated again? Why is she nominated? She is excellent in Killing Eve. Do not get me wrong for a second. She is amazing in Killing Eve. But this wasn't even the best season. This wasn't even her best performance to offer, other than the episode where she ended up in Russia and she was hanging out with her family. That episode was excellent and her performance there was excellent. Other than that specific episode, the season overall was a little bit underwhelming. So why is she here? The reason why is because they don't watch anything else. They literally do not watch anything else. Once they start the show, they're like, okay, we're just going to be nominating this for a bunch of awards until the show ends. That's literally what they do. That's clearly the case as well for Laura Linney from Ozark. 4 out of the 5 nominees in this category are from shows that have been running for several seasons. They did not watch anything, whatever. But then you do have the recognition of Emma Corrin's amazing portrayal of Princess Diana from season 4 of The Crown, which I absolutely stand by. I think she is very justified in being there, so I have no problem with that. And then you have Sarah Paulson for Ratched. We'll talk about that later on as well, but I don't know what to say. If there was ever an example of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association just picking their friends, just picking people that they know, that they hang out with or want to hang out with, this would be a perfect example of that. Because Ratched should be nowhere to be seen in any of these categories. Sarah Paulson's an excellent actress, but Ratched is what you want to nominate her for? Really? Are you sure? No, absolutely not. Where's Viola Davis? Is my question. Because if you're going to nominate a show that's subpar, at least make it How to Get Away with Murder. Don't get me wrong, How to Get Away with Murder is a good show, but by like TV network standards as opposed to like prestige television standards. And quite frankly, I think Ratched should be in that category as well. So why not have Viola Davis in this list? It makes no sense. Anyway, I need to move on. Overall, I would say that the person who is going to win this and should absolutely win this is Emma Corrin. So next up we have Best Performance by an Actor in a Television Series Drama, and here the nominees are Jason Bateman, Ozark, Josh O'Connor, The Crown, Bob Odenkirk, Better Call Saul, Al Pacino, Hunters, and Matthew Rhys, Perry Mason. Way to make me look stupid as hell for praising the Golden Globes for giving us diversity in the male categories. Like, way to make me look dumb, because clearly we have none here. It's white on white on white, but whatever. These performances are pretty good, I have to say. They're excellent for the most part. In terms of who I would say should definitely win, it would probably be Josh O'Connor for The Crown. His character is very unlikable, but do not mistake that for a bad performance, because Prince Charles at this point in his life is supposed to be intensely unlikable. I think he deserves the win because he just carries that out so well. His performance is excellent on The Crown. So I would say that, you know, he deserves to win in this category, but honestly, the stakes aren't high for me. I would be happy to see Jason Bateman win, although I do believe that he's won already, so I think that's unlikely. Bob Odenkirk, I personally don't watch Better Call Saul, but every single year people gun for that show. People die on that hill because it's so good apparently. So I could completely understand Bob Odenkirk winning there. The stakes aren't high. The stakes aren't high for me because I'm asking the question of, where is Jonathan Majors? Where is Jonathan Majors? Why do we... I was the Lovecraft Country cast done so dirty by the Golden Globes. What did they do to them? What did I do to the Golden Globes? What did they do to deserve being snubbed so badly? Where is Jonathan Majors? Whatever. It's fine. I don't care about this category. Then next we have Best Television Series Drama. And here the nominees are The Crown, Lovecraft Country, The Mandalorian, Ozark, and Ratched. Okay, so in terms of this list, we were almost there. We were almost there. We were almost 5 for 5, but then they had to do something stupid. What is with the Golden Globes and doing something stupid in the final half? Why is Ratched here? Why is Ratched here? That makes absolutely no sense to me. If you see my review of Ratched, you know I have some thoughts. I have some thoughts about that series. That series looks stunning, but makes no sense. I don't understand why it's here. Did they not watch anything? anything. I need to move on from Ratchet. It's making me so upset. Next, we also have The Crown, which makes total sense. The Golden Globes love The Crown. The Foreign Press Association love The Crown. They've nominated The Crown for as long as it's been around. So I 100% understand why they've nominated it this year specifically, considering how good this season actually was. Like, it was nominated last year as well, but this season was superior to last year's season. So I think it's a given. It's a given that they're going to nominate The Crown. So I'm not surprised to see it here on this list. Now, Lovecraft Country. Lovecraft Country made me very, very happy to see. I was elated because considering how badly everything else was going, at least seeing Lovecraft Country put a smile to my face. It was short-lived because there was more nonsense going on underneath, but at least when I saw Lovecraft Country, I was like, okay, so maybe some things make sense, but not all. Like, not most, but some things are kind of clicking. And then we have Ozark, which, you know, fine. Hollywood Foreign Press Association, clearly huge fans of Ozark. But then we also have The Mandalorian. Absolutely. Season 1 was also nominated, but season 2, if it wasn't here, there'd be a problem. There'd be more of a problem. But I'm glad to see The Mandalorian here. In terms of who I think should win, I think it should be Lovecraft Country. I think that Lovecraft Country did something so different that we've never seen before, and for the most part completely delivered episode by episode by episode. I would say the only thing that let it down was the season finale, but to be honest, I don't even think it was enough of an issue for it to not warrant the win. Like, I want to see Lovecraft Country win hands down. But in terms of who I think will win, it'll probably be The Crown, because they love to nominate The Crown. They love to vote for The Crown. And this was a particularly good season, so they have a reason to make The Crown win. The next category is Best Performance by an Actress in a Supporting Role in a Series, Limited Series, or Motion Picture Made for Television. That is a long category. And here the nominees are Gillian Anderson for The Crown, Helena Bonham Carter for The Crown, Julia Garner for Ozark, Annie Murphy for Schitt's Creek, and Cynthia Nixon for Ratched. Once again, you can see the monochromatic theme in the female acting category. Like, the evidence is right there. I'm not reaching here. It's all there in black and white, or should I say white and white, whatever. In terms of who was nominated, do I even need to say anything? Gillian Anderson has this, right? Like, she has this. She's holding it right now. Surely Gillian Anderson as Margaret Thatcher has this category. I mean, who else is there? Helena Bonham Carter, this is a steal. This is daylight robbery. It makes absolutely no sense. How has she been nominated for Best Supporting Role? She was barely in season 4. She was barely I aim to get as successful as Helena Bonham Carter, where my mere presence is worthy of awards recognition. Like, I aim to get to that point because like, what did she do this season? Then we have Julia Garner, who again is always deserving of recognition, but she's already won for this role, so why are we nominating the same people time and time again? Why are you not doing your homework and watching other things? This year the Academy at the Emmys and the Hollywood Foreign Press Association at the Golden Globes and just a ton of other, you know, critics associations and whatnot finally discovered Schitt's Creek. The year that it ended, it finally got the recognition that it deserved, and I'm so happy for it. But in terms of what's lined up now, we're not likely to see Schitt's Creek again anytime soon. So the fact that it's getting all of this recognition now, I mean, it's just on time, but it's unfortunate that we're not going to be getting more of it because it's over now. But still, it's never too late to get your flowers, I guess. So I'm glad to see that Annie Murphy is here because she's 100% deserving of it. She's excellent on that show. But overall, let's not beat around the bush. This is Gillian Anderson's 100%. If it doesn't go to Gillian Anderson, like, I'll be shocked. Like, I'll be shocked and surprised. But once again, just to sneak in another snub here, where is Wunmi Masaku, who played Ruby in Lovecraft Country? Where is she? Why are we not doing our homework? Why are you nominating Lovecraft Country for Best Series, but then none of the cast? How does that make any sense? Oh, racism, whatever. So the next category is Best Performance by an Actor in a Supporting Role in a Series, Limited Series, or Motion Picture Made for Television. And here we have John Boyega for Small Axe, Brendan Gleeson for The Comey Rule, Dan Levy for Schitt's Creek, Jim Parsons for Hollywood, and Donald Sutherland for The Undoing. So here we have a sprinkling of diversity, with John Boyega being nominated for Small Axe, specifically for Red, White, and Blue. Now, I think he's more than worthy of the nomination here. So it is not a token nomination by any stretch of the imagination. He's phenomenal in that episode. I'm also delighted to see Dan Levi or Levy, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that still, being nominated here. He might even win, quite frankly, because he's on a roll. Schitt's Creek is on a roll right now as it goes out. So I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up winning in this category. When it comes to Jim Parsons from Hollywood, he was the only decent thing in that series. Oh, I said it. Hollywood was not good. Like, Hollywood had potential, but it just wasn't quite there. But still, I do think that Jim Parsons deserves the recognition for his performance in that series because it was excellent. Like, that just shows you that even if you're not in a great show, if you have an excellent performance, you could really stand out from the crowd and get that awards recognition. Not to mention, of course, the fact that Jim Parsons is already pretty familiar to the Hollywood Foreign Press Association for his previous performances. Once again, in terms of snubs, where is Michael K. Williams? Where is Michael K. Williams for his role in Lovecraft Country? Why do I have to do everyone else's work for them? Someone needs to be fired. He was phenomenal on that series. I'm just so genuinely fed up because you have excellent performances like Michael K. Williams' performance in Lovecraft Country going entirely ignored. But in the same breath, they're nominating James Corden as Best Supporting Actor. How does this make sense? Like, how am I supposed to take this? How am I supposed to process this? It makes absolutely no sense. Where is Michael K. Williams? He should be in this category. I also would have liked to see Sean Parks or Malachi Kirby be nominated for their part in the Small Axe series, this time in Mangrove, as opposed to Red, White and Blue. But I think there was so much talent from Small Axe overall that was completely ignored. I don't think that John Boyega should be the only one here representing the Small Axe series in its acting, because there were so many incredible performances, especially Malachi Kirby. I'm surprised that he didn't get a nomination. Although, am I seeing the incompetence elsewhere? Am I surprised? Because I shouldn't be. But anyways, in terms of who I think is actually going to win, it's either going to be between John Boyega or Dan Levy, and I think either way I'm very happy because I do think that those performances are excellent. So next up we have Best Performance by an Actress in a Television Series, Musical or Comedy. And here the nominees are Lily Collins for Emily in Paris, Kaylee Cuoco for The Flight Attendant, Elle Fanning for The Great, Jane Levy for Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist, and Catherine O'Hara for Schitt's Creek. Now, once again, we have a decent category made up of excellent performances and then just a practical joke in the middle of it. What is with the Golden Globes being halfway there? Like, why are we including these random nominees? Lily Collins for Emily in Paris? Do you take me for a fool? Do you literally take me for a fool? What have I done to deserve this? Who can I speak to in management because someone needs to be fired? I can't believe Lily Collins got a nomination, a Golden Globe nomination for Emily in Paris in a year that was full of excellent television, in a year that was full of amazing options. You chose her? What an actual joke. I'm so upset. I'm so angry. Kaylee Cuoco, I'm sure she's great in The Flight Attendant. I don't have HBO Max, so I wouldn't be able to tell you what she's actually like in that show. Elle Fanning is actually phenomenal in The Great. She absolutely deserves her recognition for her performance there because she is excellent. When it comes to Jane Levy, I don't really know who she is. I've never watched Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. I've heard of it, but I haven't really seen much of it, so I can't comment on that. But Catherine O'Hara for Schitt's Creek, absolutely give her all the awards for her performance as this character. It's phenomenal, it's timeless, it's iconic. Like, absolutely, she deserves all of it. She deserves all of the recognition. I highly agree with her inclusion in this category. So I think that she will win, and I think, quite frankly, that she should win, even though I did very much enjoy Elle Fanning's performance in The Great. And once again, Lily Collins being here with the likes of Catherine O'Hara, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Why not just nominate a Disney Channel actress instead? Why not just do that? Why not just go to the CW? Nominate whoever's playing Superwoman or Batwoman at this time. Like, why not just go there? Why are you... Netflix has too much money. Netflix just has too much money and it is pumping it into all the wrong people. What happened to Never Have I Ever? Why didn't that get any nominations? Why didn't any of the actresses on that show get nominations over Lily Collins from Emily in Paris? Please give me a break. Please actually give me a break. Now, our next category is Best Performance by an Actor in a Television Series, Musical or Comedy. And the nominees here are Don Cheadle for Black Monday, Nicholas Hoult for The Great, Eugene Levy or Levy, still don't know how to pronounce that name, for Schitt's Creek, Jason Sudeikis for Ted Lasso, and Rami Youssef for Rami or Rami. Now, this is a category that I can get down with. This is a category that, oh, look at the smile on my face. Look at the smile on my face. You see how happy I get when I see logic? You see how happy I get when I see reason? You see how happy I get when I see validation? Oh, it just brings a smile to my face. Each and every one of these performances are deserving of being in this category. Even though I will say, I haven't seen Don Cheadle in Black Monday and I haven't seen Rami Youssef in Rami. He needs to win at some point. Like, what is this game that the Golden Globes and the Emmys are playing where they constantly nominate him but never actually give him the win? He needs to win. Like, we see what you're doing here because you keep nominating him but then he keeps going home empty-handed. So what's that about? Like, why are you toying with the guy? Give him the award if you actually want to give it to him, or just leave him alone if you don't. Don't just include him in there for diversity points. I hope that's not what's happening here. Same with Don Cheadle for Black Monday. I feel like he's been nominated for several things as well, but he never wins. Like, is he just a diversity placeholder? In terms of the other nominees here, Nicholas Hoult for The Great, once again, he was fantastic. Nicholas Hoult is one of the most underrated actors, like, working today, and it's so unfortunate because he has the talent, but it's hardly ever recognized. So I'm glad to see him nominated here. I do think that Eugene Levy has the leg up simply because of the Schitt's Creek movement that we're in right now. But Jason Sudeikis, Jason Sudeikis in Ted Lasso, untouchable. Untouchable. I know it's unfair because Eugene Levy has like several seasons and Jason Sudeikis only has one, but it's such a good season. It's such a good season, and I think Apple TV Plus needs this more than anything. Apple TV Plus has been lagging behind the streaming wars, and it's embarrassing because they're the richest company out of all of the streaming wars apart from Amazon. But the fact that they've been lagging behind so badly is embarrassing. But Ted Lasso was undoubtedly a win. A huge win for Apple TV Plus. They put respect on their name, and I'm so happy to see Jason Sudeikis here because he's fully deserving of the nomination here. So I personally would choose Jason Sudeikis out of this entire group, but I think he might win, or it might be Eugene Levy. I think those are the two front runners. But you didn't think it was over, did you? Just because I had a smile on my face for this one does not mean that I was fully happy, because where on earth is Anthony Starr for The Boys? Where on earth, where are the boys just in general, but Anthony Starr for The Boys not being nominated for a Golden Globe? I want to say it makes no sense, but honestly, it makes perfect sense. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can see the running theme here of nothing actually making sense from the Golden Globes. So it makes perfect sense that that would continue on with the theme. But Anthony Starr 100% deserves a nomination for his role in The Boys. The fact that The Boys was just shunned, was just snubbed in general, is appalling. But the fact that his performance isn't getting recognized by the Academy, by the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, it just makes me sick. It makes me mad. It makes me angry. That is infuriating and nonsensical. So the next category we have here is the Best Television Series, Musical or Comedy. And here we have Emily in Paris, The Flight Attendant, The Great, Schitt's Creek, and Ted Lasso. What did I just say? What did I just say? Nothing makes sense. Nothing makes sense. Why is Emily in Paris on this freaking list? It makes no goddamn sense. Where is The Boys? Where is The Boys? Where is the Umbrella Academy? Oh my god, where is the Umbrella Academy? Where is What We Do in the Shadows? All of these shows that are superior, far superior. Where is Staged, starring David Tennant and Michael Sheen? Where is that show? That was excellent. Where is Upload from Amazon? Where is Never Have I Ever? All of these shows far superior to Emily in Paris. You see how angry I am? Because I've done the homework. I've watched these shows. The Hollywood Foreign Press Association have not. They clearly, literally have not. Their daughters and sons watched Emily in Paris and told them about it, and that is the only reason why it's here on this list. It makes me sick. It makes me ill. I'm so upset. The boys being shunned, the boys being ignored like this in a category where they would have won so easily. The Umbrella Academy would have won so easily. But who am I kidding? These award ceremonies aren't there to reward genre filmmaking or genre television. By the way, that's the reason why Lovecraft Country getting recognition is such a big deal, because these award ceremonies aren't about rewarding genre filmmaking or genre television shows. Instead, they like the dramas or the clear musicals or the clear comedies. Although in this case, there are so many other great clear comedies. Like Upload from Amazon is an excellent comedy. Like I said, Never Have I Ever is an excellent comedy. What We Do in the Shadows. Who is over at FX? Who is over at FX? Because everyone needs to be fired. Everyone needs to be fired. FX has like incredible TV shows that they do nothing with. They never promote them. They never campaign for them during award season. I don't know what's going on at FX. Maybe their ratings are like through the roof and they don't need to do any of this, but I don't feel like it because no one talks about these shows either. But the shows are excellent over there. What We Do in the Shadows is excellent, but it doesn't get the gold. It doesn't get the recognition that it deserves. Oh, whatever. I think the show that should win would probably be Schitt's Creek. I'd be happy with Schitt's Creek winning. It won the Emmy, but I would still be happy with it winning the Golden Globe. I would also be very happy to see Ted Lasso win, and The Great as well, because I loved all three of those shows. If Emily in Paris were to win, if Emily in Paris was to commit a literal hate crime against me and win the Golden Globe, I don't even know like what I would do. That can't happen by any means. That cannot happen, but I don't think it will happen. I do think that Ted Lasso, or more likely Schitt's Creek, is going to win this category. So the next category we have to dive into is the best performance by an actor in a limited series or motion picture made for television. And here we have Bryan Cranston for Your Honor, Jeff Daniels for The Comey Rule, Hugh Grant for The Undoing, Ethan Hawke for The Good Lord Bird, and Mark Ruffalo for I Know This Much Is True. Now, out of these 5 nominees, I only know of the performances by Hugh Grant and Mark Ruffalo. The other 3 projects I've quite frankly never even heard of. Like, it's not even a case of I haven't gotten a chance to check it out. I've literally never heard of it before. So I'm sure the men are great. Once again, looking very monochromatic. In terms of their performances, I can't really speak to it because I haven't watched those other 3 shows, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because Mark Ruffalo is taking this home. Listen, he plays twins. He plays twins and I Know This Much Is True, and usually that's kind of like an acting shtick, like an actor. An actor will want to do their maximum actoring by playing twins or triplets because they're just going to kick out of that. It gets their creative juices flowing and whatnot. But in this case, there's nothing superficial about his performance in the slightest. He is so good in both roles. It's truly phenomenal to see both of these characters on screen and you believe that they're 2 separate people because of just how immersed Mark Ruffalo is in his performances here. So I absolutely think that he is going to take this one home, and I think he wholeheartedly deserves it. I think Hugh Grant was good in The Undoing. I personally think he should have gotten a nomination for The Gentleman, which is a film rather than a TV show, but I already discussed this in my previous video. I think it's a shame that he didn't get a nomination for that film in the comedy or musical category because he truly was so great. Whatever. The point is, I think that was a superior performance for me personally in comparison to The Undoing. In terms of snubs in this category, I couldn't help but notice that Paul Mescal was not nominated for his role in Normal People, even though his co-star was. Now, I think they were both great in their kind of lead roles, but I actually preferred Paul Mescal's performance. I think it was far more nuanced. His character went through, so many arcs in that series. His character went through so much and so much change to the point where the character that we meet at the beginning of the show is so entirely different and fundamentally different towards the end, and the whole journey is so convincing, and he portrays that character so well that you feel for him even in moments where he is just so wrong. Even in those moments you can still empathize with him to some level, but in the moments where he is a very sympathetic character, like Paul Mescal does such a good job in this series. The fact that he wasn't nominated for Normal People, especially considering how much recognition it got elsewhere, is abysmal as well. So next up we have the category that quite frankly broke my heart the most. This really did shatter me. I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw the list this morning and saw that there was this huge omission from this category because it's so unjustified. It's so sad, honestly. Like the other things that I've been talking about, the other snubs that I've been talking about, it's kind of been in jest. Not really, but it's kind of been in jest. Like it's all fun and games. You know, the cast of Lovecraft Country was ignored. Ha 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 ha. But when it comes to this omission from the Golden Globes nominations list this year, I'm genuinely upset and I'm genuinely angry. And I strongly feel like the Hollywood Foreign Press Association needs to give me some answers. They need to give me some answers for the huge fuck up. Yes, I said it. The huge fuck up in these categories that are coming soon here. So first of all, we have Best Performance of an Actress in a Limited Series or Motion Picture Made for Television. And here the nominees are Cate Blanchett for Mrs. America, Daisy Edgar Jones for Normal People, Shira Haas for Unorthodox, Nicole Kidman for The Undoing, Anya Taylor-Joy for The Queen's Gambit. Now, first of all, can I just say I'm very happy to see Anya Taylor-Joy get some recognition for her role in The Queen's Gambit. I think she was phenomenal in that series. I think she was one of the rising stars of 2020, and I'm so happy to see that she got that nomination because she 100% deserves it. I would say that if there was one performance that I take issue with being present at all, it would be Nicole Kidman for The Undoing. Now, I talked about this in my review of The Undoing, but I personally feel like the procedures, the work that Nicole Kidman has gotten on her face kind of inhibits her performance on screen for me, and I feel like the character very much had a frozen face for a lot of the series, which was quite unfortunate because she was supposed to be in a very emotionally vulnerable position, but she couldn't quite convey that in her performance, unfortunately. So I don't quite understand why she's here, other than the fact that she's Nicole Kidman and she has that past relationship with the Hollywood Press Association, so that's kind of why she's there, which is such a shame because she's definitely taking up a slot that should have been left for Michaela Cole for I May Destroy You. This is so insulting. This is so fucking frustrating. I am so upset that she hasn't gotten the recognition that she deserved for I May Destroy You. The fact that she wasn't nominated in an acting capacity or even for the series overall is abysmal and an insult and a hate crime. There, I said it. The Hollywood Foreign Press Association, they have to answer for this. There must be repercussions for this because quite frankly, I literally cannot believe what I'm seeing. How can you ignore one of the best performances of the year, one of the best shows of the year, hands down, no questions asked, take it to someone else? How can you ignore that? How could you possibly ignore that they didn't do their freaking homework? And if they did do their homework, then why didn't they come to the same conclusion that this show definitely deserved to get the recognition? It definitely deserved to win the award. And Michaela Cole's performance in I May Destroy You would have gone up against Anya Taylor-Joy's, and rightfully so, because they're both excellent performances. Why on earth is Nicole Kidman here for doing more of the same when Michaela Cole has done something extraordinary, has really broken through and done something we've never seen before? Why wasn't that rewarded instead of just the same old white middle class female type bullshit? I am so upset. I am so upset and disappointed, but at the same time, what do I expect? Truly, what do I expect from the Hollywood Foreign Press Association? The only hope that I have left are the Emmys. And it's not looking good because, you know, the show came out last year just before the Emmys, so it already has a disadvantage. But I hope that the Emmys remember just how excellent I May Destroy You was. And I hope that HBO does their freaking jobs and actually promotes it during the awards campaign. So finally, our last category is Best Television Limited Series or Motion Picture Made for Television. And here the nominees are Normal People, The Queen's Gambit, Small Axe, The Undoing, and Unorthodox. Now, I've watched all of these series. I've already told you guys my thoughts on what is missing here. I think it's atrocious that I May Destroy You was not nominated in this category. Quite frankly, I would have taken any of these out. Yep. Any of these out. And I love all of these shows, but I would have taken any of these out. If you've watched my best TV shows of 2020 list, then you already know my thoughts on I May Destroy You. I think it's just superior to everything that's on offer here. And like I said, I loved everything that was on offer here. In the case of The Queen's Gambit, talk about a dark horse. Talk about a success story. That series had pretty much no hype going into it, but then it just blew up. It ballooned and it was insane. And I think it's highly deserving of all of the praise and attention attention that it received last year, because it was a true rising star. Like it was incredible. It was a phenomena, quite frankly. So I think it 100% deserves to be in this list. In the case of The Undoing, like I said, middle class white woman bullshit, like whatever. It doesn't deserve to be here in my opinion. I think HBO should have pushed I May Destroy You instead of The Undoing, but whatever, it's Nicole Kidman, I guess. And then we have Unorthodox, which is wholeheartedly deserving. Unorthodox is an excellent series. I've talked about it at length at this point in my, I think, Emmy reaction video and also in previous videos, but it is an excellent series. And I didn't really discuss Shira Haas earlier because I was so upset about Michaela Cole, but she's phenomenal in Unorthodox. Overall, I wouldn't be unhappy with any of these guys winning, but I'm personally gunning for The Queen's Gambit or Small Axe or Unorthodox. Everything else is just fine. And that's it from me. Now that I told you guys my thoughts on the Golden Globe nominations for 2021, it's time for you guys to let me know what you thought of these nominations down in the comments below. Please be sure to subscribe to catch new videos coming up. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!